ergita, तेरे लिए की नहीं कीता let it breathe.
Thank you, appreciate it. So I'm good. You got me all tested up. All right, good. Thank you. You ready, Shanice? Yeah, we're good.
Final glasses off the table.
Oh, okay.
And I think just so you know, after I open, it won't be long after I'm gonna have to leave.
Oh,
My meeting is over.
oh man, I'm so sorry to hear
I've been
that.
trying to get through this week.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
And I'm literally going to the airport and flying straight to South Carolina. So please know.
No, how you doing? How you doing?
I've compartmentalized this house.
It's rough. It's not easy.
It's
How's
not
your
easy.
How's your husband doing?
He's okay. That's what I want to get to him.
Okay, I got you.
But and I'm not spreading it around because I don't even want to talk about it. So, but I just wanted to let you know. So
No,
you knew
absolutely.
what
You
was
do that. You do that.
Okay.
Let me know if I can help in any way.
Absolutely.
I just went through something similar in December, so I get it. Let me know. Let me know. Oh, I got you. That's what you're doing. Okay. We're good. How you doing? Couple weeks in, right? You said a couple months in. No, we met the other day. Yeah. You doing well? Athul. I don't have my tag on. Athul. A-T-H-U-L. You ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. And now, welcome back to the stage, Shawnice Washington.
Good afternoon again, everyone. How are you? Oh, wow. After lunch is always tough, right? Okay, well, look, 7 years ago, the Startup Pitch Competition was a quick pivot in programming during our annual conference and has since evolved into being one of our most attended signature events. This year, we are back in person and looking forward to this year's competition, which combines talent and innovation and challenges us to think beyond what exists and think forward with courage and what is possible. I would like to thank Comcast NBC Universal, who is not only an annual Platinum corporate sponsor, but the presenting sponsor of our Startup Pitch competition. Thank you, Comcast NBC Universal, and please join me in thanking them as well. And now it is my pleasure to welcome to the stage our sponsor representative, Anthony Bowen, Senior Vice President of the Greater Boston region of Comcast. Anthony?
Thanks, Shanice. I'm thrilled to be here today to help kick off an event that is dedicated to such an important priority for us at Comcast NBC Universal, supporting underrepresented founders. The principles of diversity, equity, and inclusion have been ingrained in our culture for decades. Our commitment to championing diversity and fostering inclusion goes back to our entrepreneurial roots and our founder Ralph Roberts' vision to build a company where all employees felt heard and inspired. We know that a diverse, equitable, and inclusive company is more an innovative and a successful one. Across our workforce, products, and content, we embrace diversity of background, perspective, culture, and experience. And together with our partners, we are working to fight injustice and inequity against racial, ethnicity, gender or sexual identity, disability, and veteran status. We've committed to investing $1 million to continue this important work over the next decade. This long-term investment will reach tens of millions of Americans and connect low-income families to the tools and the resources they need to succeed in a digital world. In this year's Comcast NBC Universal Lift Labs Accelerator cohort, 1/2 of the selected companies are led by at least one founder who self-identifies as a person of color or racial or ethnic minority in their home country, while 1/3 are led by women or gender-diverse founders. Comcast Rise champions representation, investment, strength, and empowerment for small businesses owned by people of color and women by providing marketing, technology, and capital resources to sustain, support, and rebuild these communities in the wake of the pandemic. Comcast Rise offers opportunities for small businesses owned by people of color and women to apply for marketing and technology resources to help grow their businesses and thrive for years to come. To date, Comcast Rise has named more than 9,500 entrepreneurs as recipients and awarded $16 million in grants and $75 million in in-kind support to small businesses. By the end of 2022, 13,000 businesses across the country are expected to benefit from Comcast Rise initiative. The Comcast Rise Investment Fund, $10,000 in grants to small businesses in select cities that have been in business for 3 or more years with 1 to 25 employees. To date, the investment fund has committed $21 million in grants to 2,100 small businesses owned by people of color. We invested $25 million in the Siebert Williams Shank Clear Vision Impact Fund, a diverse-led, a diverse-serving financial institution that provides direct support to local community businesses. In June of 2021, we announced a $10 million commitment to advance economic mobility and racial equity in underserved communities through Inclusive Racial Equity and Resilience Investment Fund, which is aimed specifically at building equity in credit unions led by or serving people of color. And we are absolutely thrilled to support NAMIC in this year's pitch competition, and I can't wait to get started. Thank you.
Welcome to the Diet Startup Pitch Competition, apparently, this year. Damn. We used to be like the most popular thing, man. We should do it before lunch from now on, I guess. This is the first time we're doing it after lunch. Allowed me to attend the New York NAMIC after party with Dia. That was a good time. Because we usually have it at 9 a.m. this thing, and it's everybody. So welcome to the Diet Startup Pitch Competition. Thank you, everyone, for being here. We're back in person. It's nice to see everyone's amazing faces. It's been 3 years. Appreciate it. This is great. I'm gonna have the judges walk out right now. In a short moment, after they're seated, we'll have them introduce themselves, and then we'll get into the whole rules and regulations of the whole thing right now. I am amped up about this whole thing because we've had some incredible high-profile people presenting and judging on this stage before. We've had Abby Raven, the chairman of A&E. She's been a judge in one of our first or second startup showcases. We had Super Bowl champion from New York Giants, Amani Toomer. He was a judge at one point. Bobby Sharma, a private equity group that owns a couple soccer, global football leagues. He's been a judge here before. Actress and producer Eric Alexander, NBA star Maurice Evan, played with Kobe, retired with the Wizards. Courtside Ventures has had people up here before. They were the first checks into StockX and The Athletic. Athletic was just acquired earlier this year. We've had some phenomenal judges, contestants up here. Acquisitions, we've had of the companies that have been up here, 3, 4, 5 have been acquired. Uru was one of our first. They were acquired by Adobe. Google acquired another one within 4, 5, 6, 18 months after the showcase. So we get high-profile folks up here. A VR company was acquired by one of the companies. They had a lot of relationships with the NFL, and they do experiential marketing and VR plays in the sports arena. So and that's where we're headed. So it's a nice place. You're in good company again with everyone here. Some of these starters have partnered with you all. A&E, AMC, I know have done partnerships with some of them like AdTech or some other type of partnership with some of the companies soon after they met here. So there's been some phenomenal experiences for everyone to be had here. NCAA, Snapchat, NFL, all of these groups have been involved with some of these groups as they've gone down the road. Lyft Labs has been a great partner throughout this whole thing. I run a venture fund. I'm going to tap it off to these folks in a second. Why am I here? Through it and through syndicates and my own fund and maybe my personal portfolio, I've probably invested in over 200 companies, private and public markets. So I'm not Elon Musk. I'm not that kind of guy. I don't have those kind of pockets. But so that I know my space. The reason I've had some sort of success in here is because I know what I know and I know what not to invest in because I don't know it enough. Pass it off to the judges. Let's start. We can start here. Kevin Lopes.
We can start. I have not won any Super Bowls. I haven't won any MVPs either. My name is Kevin Lopes. I'm the Vice President for Sports Business Development and Innovation at ESPN. Thanks for having me.
Hi, I'm Emily Waldorf. I am the Senior Vice President of Growth Development for Comcast.
Good afternoon, everyone. Aki Garrett, Vice President of Business Development and M&A at Revolt Media.
Thank you. So the format for today is 5, 5, and 5. We have 5 companies presenting for 5 minutes each, followed by 5 minutes of Q&A with our 3 judges up here. They'll be scoring everyone after the fact. And then at the end of this, we will kind of award someone second and first place. And after everyone presents, the 3 judges and I will have a nice candid conversation about how we go about, from a business development perspective or investing perspective, partnering with one of these companies and hoping to take them from a private to a public company or scale them in some capacity. So we'll have that kind of conversation live here on stage. There is a time limit to everything going on here. We are part of a conference, and NAMIC and Comcast, thank you for being partners with this. So we will have to cut off. So if someone is mid-sentence, they're all aware that I'll have to cut because we have just time constraints. with that, let's get everyone up there. We're going to bring the first group up. It is Be Possible. Come on up. That's where you clap. All right. All right. You clap. Pedram is a doctor. He's also lived as a monk, and he has quite an interesting story in his company, Empowering a Better You. Thank you.
Thank you. Clicker. Cool. Hi, everybody. Welcome back from lunch. Dr. Pedram Shojai got into health media because I had to. Why? Because as doctors, you can tell them what to do when they're leaving your office, but then what, right? They don't do it. And so got into this, there we go, because of these statistics. Half of America, chronic health conditions, these are lifestyle conditions, right? These are issues that we have every day, not at the doctor's office, when we leave the doctor's office, okay? And so this is the problem we were trying to solve. This is the problem we got into. And so either you're in the clunky medical system, or you go to Dr. Google and you start getting really bad advice and seeing chiropractors for lung issues or whatever it is that people are doing. This is a mess, and so what we ended up doing is getting into becoming a trusted source for health and wellness media, but using data intelligence to really understand how to enrich the customer journey. It's anonymized. I don't see what people's health issues are, but we can understand how to serve them media that will get them to change behavior. So media is a big part of it, but then we have tools, we have resources, we have coaches, we have doctors, and it's all tied in with labs, biometrics, really to help people understand what's working, how it's working, and how to make that journey work better. There's two things we talk about in healthcare. It's getting the horse to water, but then getting the horse to drink the water. And those are different problems to solve. But again, half of America has this problem, which is obviously something we're trying to solve. Sorry, my clicker's not clicking. So it's obviously a huge vertical. We have, $1.5 trillion industry. We are not streaming media. We are not telemedicine. We live somewhere in between, and I'll explain that as we go. How we understand what's going on. I don't care if you're a 45-year-old yoga mom that fits a certain demographic. I care that you're Googling menstrual migraine headache right now, and that our media uses our AI to intercept that query with relevant articles and videos and long-form and short-form assets that then meet them where they're at. Here's one that we just put out, a 10-part series on women's hormonal health. Right? So we have articles, we have films that lead into it, we have series, then we have coaches, and we create a wraparound ecosystem to actually help this individual. Here's another one, brain health. We have articles, we have a masterclass with Dr. David Perlmutter, we have films, we have meditations, resources, all the way up to trackers that are connecting with your Apple, Google Health, using specific diets to help you through this particular vertical, all tied in with a coach, all tied in with telemedicine. We opened it up for free. Why? Because there's too many people to help. We have an ad-supported tier that's doing great. Next tier moves up without that, and then we have coaching and telemedicine. You enrich your journey. You go from passive to active, because that's where we've intercepted people. This, we did just under $1 million in 2021. We rebranded to Be Possible. This year's taken a long time to rebrand, and we're gearing up from here. These numbers, I've been at this for a decade, so a single series I did a couple years ago was $8 million, and so we know how to make money at this. Question is, how do we increase LTV and increase the journey's lifetime value for this person to actually get better? Do I get an allowance for my clicker being slow? Key growth factors. We learn how to serve them media. We learn how to develop technology to help them, whether it's with the watches or the wearables or whatever it is. That has been integrated in what we're doing, and we've integrated commerce, because what happens after the media I've done is people come to me and say, what probiotic do you recommend? Where can I find a doctor? So we had to integrate all that. This isn't just a spreadsheet business. We have hundreds and hundreds of hours of content that already exists. We have existing partnerships. We're working with NFL alums. We're working with certain brands. We're moving a lot of product. We understand how to do that. The competition, streaming media is kind of a dumpster fire right now with some of the things that are happening. Telemedicine, we have been very good with our low CAC. I'm getting customers for under $2, whereas in telemedicine it's $500 to get these people. I have been around the block. I've done several films. I have 8 books in 30 languages. I know all the luminaries. I've been in the space. Execs from HBO, people who've run online media, people who've run the advertising. I got a guy from Amazon waiting to come over. So we've built the team, advisors, people who started MTV and such. I'm moving fast here. The top people in the health and wellness space are all in our content. And we've raised 1.3. We're doing an extended round of 2, and we're moving from there. Thank you very much. I didn't let you buzz me.
We'll do 5 minutes of Q&A with the 3 judges, please.
You want me to start? I can start. First off, congratulations. Always tough to go first. It's certainly set a high bar, so thank you. So a couple questions. We don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to be really direct. I apologize if this comes across as me being aggressive, but this is how I operate. So typically, people only use like 3 apps on their phone, right? Like how many of you open more than 3 or 4 different apps in the same day? So like, how do you scale adoption? I saw you had a bunch of logos on the screen about companies that you partnered with. Like, what's the future growth strategy? Is it partnering with more companies? Is it advertising? Like, how are you going to get people to open that app on their phone in a sea of apps in the mobile space today?
Yeah, great question. You're not going to step away from the football game unless your back hurts enough to Google that, and that's where I meet you. So we intercept at the pain point. I've done corporate wellness for about 1,400 companies. I understand how to get people there, but then utilization is obviously the issue. So the question is, how can I address your pain right now? And then how can I escalate your journey once I've proven my worth to you? And that's how we've been able to be sticky.
Maybe just to follow up on that. So you talked a little bit about intercepting consumers the first time as they're searching. How do you drive continued engagement? How do you brand it enough to kind of bring the engagement back to your platform, or is the idea that you will consistently intercept?
Consistently intercepted retargeting is obviously a part of the business, but our CRM strategy, so our database and our machine learning are integrated with how we cut video. And so we're constantly cutting very relevant video to the individual in a one-to-one and using the CRM to deliver messaging that we've learned is appropriate for them. So that's the hardest part, but we've been addressing that for like 6 years.
So outside of the kind of customer-facing platform, how are you all thinking about leveraging the data that's coming out on the back end, whether it's diagnostic data, trends around growing conditions, growing ailments? Are you thinking about monetizing that as well and using that as a revenue stream?
Yeah, so we're not selling it, to be clear. It's personal data, but what we've done is we've partnered with a couple groups that will take the data, anonymize it, and then allow our machine learning to work with the content teams to say, look, I need more on headaches, I need more on this. And so then we start to do the one-to-one with our coaches and our telemedicine groups to say, listen, this is what's going on with the groups. I need a master class in this. And on an individual level, we also have roll-ups on the data for the health side to say, listen, we really need more on stress management. And so the data is really helping our journey, but we're not selling it, to be clear. We're using it to make product recommendations to increase people on from tier 0 to tier 3, and we're also using it to stay stickier with our content, to consistently know how to put the next thing in front of them on their journey.
Can I ask one more question just based on that? So we're all, a lot of us, we're all in the media business, and content is expensive to create, right? How are you all creating content effectively at a price point that allows you to be profitable?
Yeah, great question. It costs
or if
us,
you're not profitable, how would you get there with creating this? It seems like you guys are creating a volume of content that is quite large. How are you doing that cost effectively?
Yeah, COVID was actually a friend. I couldn't get crews in the air, so I took over local TV stations and used that as a source to find the best yoga teachers and fitness teachers. And so we found a very scalable option. A $1,200 hour was getting more eyeballs than a $2 million film I made. And so we learned a lot from that. It costs us all in about $30K for a master class. Those are kind of our tentpole events, but then all of our post-productions in South Africa, the AI sends time codes on transcripts to bin stuff out. So we've really worked on cost efficiency because, as you know, it's very expensive.
So you're producing all your own content, or are you pulling it from aggregating sources?
So very little, so it turns out I've licensed most of what's out there already in the health space. And so we've licensed as much as we could. There's, couple dozen titles a year that are coming that are relevant, and we ended up producing a lot more of our own. And you know, what's stickier than most of the things that you would assume is like the thought leadership with a film, meditation tracks, running guides, and these things are a lot less costly to produce, and so we've scaled that up over the last couple of years, and they're getting more eyeballs than the big stuff.
You showed a lot of different activities that your team wants to put into this platform. How do you prioritize given a small startups team?
Yeah, right now it's free tier advertiser partnerships, and so we're lead liquidating in about 45 days. So it's how do you get them there? How do you stay sticky enough to stay there? We've launched tier 2 coming out of beta. It's doing well. Tier 3 is ready for next year. So one step at a time, really. Just, you know, I've been in this business for over a dozen years, and so we've rolled a lot of assets into it. We know where the eyeballs go. But yeah, it's just literally get the free tier in, then 2% conversions to the next tier, and just, you know, baiting and tackling, frankly. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you. All right. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Thanks so much. Yeah. Thank you so much. That was awesome. Appreciate it. 2 administrative things. We have NAMIC, Comcast, all these folks are in the room. My colleague Naima is here. We are live posting on Instagram, so if you want to jump into that conversation at NAMIC and at, I think it's my handle, AKPRASHAR. She's going at it. Have a conversation with us. Let's get vulgar. And then we are going to audience vote. You also have an opportunity to participate in the voting. These 3 will have majority of the say because they've been in this industry for quite some time. They're in the app, the NAMIC app, you get to vote on, there'll be a question posted, and then you get to vote on that. That actually does impact the outcome of this. It's happened last 3 years running. First, second place, and a third place jumped up as well. So feel free to jump into that. That'll be awesome. That'll be at the end after everyone presents. Okay, those are the last 2. Next one, Abran is going to come up and talk about Create Labs, and his thing is artificial intelligence for social good. He's a founder, creator of Clara, an autonomous AI woman of color. Welcome to the stage.
So I'm gonna have some fun with this one a little bit today. You're all gonna see a new technology that's never been unveiled ever in history, in the world, and Atul asked me to whip something up for this event, so we're gonna go with it. So my guy Clyde, appreciate it. Just hit start and reset. You're gonna meet Miles Morales, live and in the flesh, via AI. We're gonna take a live question from the audience. You're gonna get a chance to meet and ask him whatever you want. None of this is pre-scripted, none of this is pre-recorded. Nothing is pre-generated. We don't know what question he's gonna be asked. He just believes he is Miles Morales. All right, who wants to ask a question? We could take one from the judges as well. Oh, go ahead, boss, right here. Huh? What color is your suit? Okay, what color is your suit?
The suit is red and black.
All right, I saw another one back there. What is your daily routine?
I usually wake up early and go for a run. Then I'll eat breakfast and head to school. I'll try to get in a little bit of studying in between classes. After school, I'll head to the gym to work out, and then I'll patrol the city, Spider-Man. I'll wrap up my night by hanging out with my friends and family.
Thank you very much. All right, we can go to the, oh, hold on, we got one more in the back. Go ahead. What happened to Peter Parker? Now think about your child being able to interact with their favorite superhero at any time, 24/7.
He's alive and well. He's living a normal life with his wife, Mary Jane.
There you go. Glad to hear he's safe. Thank you, everybody. Okay, we can go to the third tab for the slides. So we specialize, and we are a Black and Brown founded AI company. I was just featured in the Washington Post as being one of the early leaders in this space. Yeah, if you get out of exit, yep, in the third. Yeah, you can X those other ones out. Yep. Just hit. Perfect. Okay. And I have a clicker. Full screen. Perfect. So that's my partner, Grady Spivey. How many of you ever heard of Versus TV? He's leading up Versus over at Triller with Swizz Beatz and Timbaland. So we actually started in hip hop, and we started in media entertainment, but we saw the importance of giving back to the community. We started working on cutting edge technology, and by the grace of God, I got access to these cutting edge technologies, AI being one of them, and we started doing some amazing work. That is a slow clicker. So everyone's hearing the buzzwords, the metaverse. We don't really know what it means. These digital economies. They don't really mean anything until you come up with a utility, a purpose to enter those spaces. Don't enter those spaces just for the sake of entering them. Clyde, I appreciate you, boss. We specialize in creating digital humans. We specialize in digital human design, digital twins, but this difference between what we do and just a normal 3D shop is that we bring them to life. There was no actor behind Miles. There was no actor behind This is Ashante. We create digital transfers of humans and give them life to operate and be autonomous on their own with AI. Some of you may have heard of Clara. We invented Clara. I created Clara a couple years ago. She's the most powerful AI in the world. She's also an Afro-Latina. She's been featured in Ebony Magazine, Black Enterprise, Complex. She was also, interviewed by the Washington Post as soon as all this talk about sentience and AI came out. And they spoke with her, and I said, what do you think? And they said, we understand the technology, but there's something else there. And we really can't explain why Clara answers things the way that she does. We've been traveling around the country. She gets booked for speaking engagements all around the world. It's a lot of fun. I mean, I'm just the guy behind the scenes. One of our projects, and we saw a purpose in Metaverse, is historical and cultural preservation. Things that are maybe leaving us behind, we can bring back to life and preserve forever in the metaverse. One of those projects is the hip-hop metaverse, where we can bring back the golden era of hip-hop. We can bring back some of the lost legends, some of the ones that are still, getting up there, and bring them all back in their prime to relive those moments. We're doing the same with Black Wall Street and recreating Tulsa. We're in talks with NFL teams to explore what we can do from that aspect. This is a digital scale of Hard Rock Stadium that we're mocking up for a particular team. Can't say who. We had talks with another team about bringing back certain legends, right? These legends spend all year signing autographs, going to meet and greets. But there's more opportunities now with the metaverse. I see I'm out of time. Thank you.
Very impressive.
Thank you.
Very impressive technology. My question for you is, can you talk a little bit about the business model and how you're going to market?
Absolutely. So for certain large brand clients, we're helping them understand this technology. So some of it is client work as a studio, as a metaverse studio, metaverse design, digital human design studio. There is also, not to complicate things, but there's kind of like a data plan. So for every answer that's generated by Miles Morales or anybody else, there's like a fee, right, for every answer. We mark up that fee. So as they scale this out to their consumers, all that interaction, we get a percentage of all that interaction.
Sure, I can jump in. So who at the Walt Disney Company approved the use of the Marvin Morales IP? I'm joking.
Someone said Disney was going to be here, so that's why I mocked it up. I was like, what do you want me to do, Atul? He was like, yo, mock up Disney. You mock up Marvel. So I was like, all right, I got you.
I love it. I'm not the brand police. Those are different folks. So my question is, I'm doing a lot of testing around this stuff now, so I'm really interested in it. Aggressive question, but like the voice on Miles Morales. Like I know there's technology out there, synthetic voice, neural voice that can sound not like a robot.
Yes.
So like, where is that in your roadmap, and why haven't you deployed that yet?
We have. So I haven't played Clara for you, but Clara, we were interviewed by a podcast host, a woman of color, and she volunteered. She was like, can I be the voice of Clara? And I said, absolutely. So we trained a voice on Clara that matched, her name is Amber, Amber's voice, to give her an authentic voice. So now anything that is answered by Clara carries Amber's voice, but these are not pre-recorded lines. They're not sentences that we pre-record. It's just the tonality is matched, similar to what they're doing now with James Earl Jones with Darth Vader.
Can you give us an idea of market traction, some of the customers you've worked with, and then kind of overall market size in terms as you guys see it from a brand perspective or customer perspective?
So since we are an AI house, in general, we do AI-powered SaaS, AI-powered chatbots. This is the ultimate iteration of the avatars. People who are looking to start their own AI startups are coming to us to build the technology for them on the back end. So we have a market of startups looking to break into the AI space, which is hot right now. Brands who are looking to get into the metaverse but don't know exactly how. So they come to us for that Web3 strategy. And then our own economies being established by the metaverses that we release, like the hip-hop metaverse, and the transaction opportunities that can happen in the sponsorship and brand partnerships that can happen within our own environments.
And just as a follow-up, can you put some numbers to that in terms of revenue to date or projected revenue?
This year we're probably going to do like 250, and this is all bootstrapped. We never raised a round. This is all just a bunch of AI engineers and creatives doing stuff for fun. But we know what's possible there with a round at scale.
So there's a lot of companies that are starting to kind of build out this technology. I'm curious if you can describe a little bit how you're differentiated and what the competitive mode is in your view, so that really makes you stand out.
Sure. So we had conversations with Soul Machine. Soul Machines, they've partnered with will.i.am, and they've done stuff in this space. They voiced to me directly that we're ahead of them when it comes to building the AI brain, so building the personalities to these brains. They might have like Hollywood-level production studios to build the bodies, but they're like, you guys are the experts on the brain part of it, and we should partner. So they were talking to us about maybe collaborating on a Carmelo Anthony build or something like that. But and the others in this space, when I see a lot of metaverse work, that's fine, but no one has our proprietary AI. And what you saw live real time is a big differentiator. A lot of corporate companies are seeing Synthesia AI with these realistic AI customer service bots. All that has to be pre-recorded. You have to pre-record those answers. You have to pre-write those scripts. What you saw here was what they call non-deterministic. It's just, you could ask it any question it didn't understand. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks. So funny story, when I first met LeBron, he said, it's like LeBron without the L's. And I said, well, that's Michael Jordan. I'm just kidding. That's for you guys. That's for you guys. I'm a Chicago cat. I got to do it. All right. All right. Thank you. But you believe it, right? Okay. So Pop Viewers is up next. Chris Witherspoon. This company is Viewer-Powered Content Discovery Platform. Boom. Chris Witherspoon.
Hey, what's up, you guys? I am so excited to be in this room. It is my first time pitching in a room with human beings, live human beings. So this is a big moment, y'all. And it feels like a dream come true. So thank you all for being here. But Pop Viewers is a content discovery platform that delivers next level customer sentiment for studios, content creators, and brands. I'm gonna tell you all about us in a second, but I'll play you a video so you can watch our platform in action. I think it's this button. You know what? I might have messed up. Is that me doing that?
The sticky clicky? I don't know.
That's not me.
All right. Somebody in the back know what we're doing? We'll get it figured out.
Okay. Stop.
I'll give you an extra 20 seconds. Is that cool?
Okay.
No, you deserve it. I get it.
Thank God it's not live TV. Well, there's no video. Maybe there is a video. Let me just keep trying. Should I keep
You
trying?
shouldn't have to dance now. I'm kidding.
Don't me to dance, you guys? I can dance and sing. Someone back there?
Yeah, no, they got it.
Oh, here we go.
Cool. You'll get an extra minute.
4 major networks, but today there There's more content available than ever before, and simply not enough time in the day to find the perfect TV show or movie without asking, what are you watching?
Pop viewers.
Pop viewers.
Pop viewers. Pop viewers.
Hi, I'm Chris Witherspoon, founder and CEO of Pop Viewers. Pop Viewers is a viewer-powered content discovery platform delivering next-level customer sentiment for brands, content creators, and studios. On the app, we're growing a one-of-a-kind community around TV shows and movies. We allow our users, the audience, to become the critics, recording quick and authentic reactions to what they've just watched, giving the TV show or movie a score, and sharing their media across the platform's network so that you can decide what to watch next. But wait, we're more than just an app. The Pop Viewers app powers a one-of-a-kind customer sentiment platform where movie studios, networks, streaming platforms, and brands come to understand what consumers are watching and why. We have a proprietary analytics tool where we can dive into over 100 data points where we track consumer sentiment through first, second, and third-party tracking. We've built a solution to take on the industry leaders in the audience insight, data, and analytics reporting space to help drive discovery and create diverse, profitable content that is missing from screens today. And we have a path to 9-figure revenue goals within 5 years. In just 1 year, installs have risen over 175%, and we recently landed partnerships with entertainment mogul Steve Harvey, renowned radio personality Angela Yee, MSNBC host Joy Reid, and NBA athlete Taj Gibson. Together, our partners' reach is 55 million plus. I'm so proud of this innovation, a love letter to the business that I love most and the communities that deserve a seat at the table. So join us as we reimagine media technology and better democratize the industry as we know it today.
You can keep up with all things entertainment by checking out Chris's entertainment app, Pop Viewers.
All right, guys, let me try and get this clicker to work. I think it's the next one, right? Here we go. All right, so I'm really honored, you guys. I get to lead a team of people that are inspired every single day with backgrounds including Comcast, NBC News, The Griot, SiriusXM, Vigil, and Now This News. And shout out to our CMO, Clyde, who's somewhere over there in the corner. This next slide will come up. I told you about our partners in the video, but I want to just kind of stress that these folks are, truly, connected, and they're partners across the board. They're involved in marketing, raising capital, helping generate ideas and leads, and growing the platform. And all 4 of these folks really got their careers and were able to grow their careers through diverse audiences and the power of diverse audiences. And we recognize that, there's a problem with legacy brands, platforms like Nielsen and Rotten Tomatoes, and major networks are looking for new solutions. Nielsen is very outdated, and Rotten Tomatoes oftentimes is getting it wrong. There's a small group of critics that have a lot of power in Hollywood, and we want to be a solution for this. And so far, we've had some really great traction, 21,000 registered active users, 320,000 ratings of TV shows and movies, and 15+ interactions per users, and installs have increased over 110% this past year. And you can see right now, Pop Viewers is a solution to all of these legacy ratings brands, data research tools, and social listening tools. And we want to be a solution to help kind of streamline the process for folks. Thank you. Let's get it popping. And I made time.
Sure, I'll jump in. So for some reason or other, I listen to a lot of Elon Musk quotes, and when he talks about Tesla, if someone's going to come make an electric car, it can't just be as good as Tesla. It has to be marketably better. It has to be like 3 or 4 times better than the existing product for folks to leave that brand name. So you touched on it a bit in the video, but why are you so much better than Rotten Tomatoes?
Well, I look at Rotten Tomatoes, who I used to work for back in the day. I was a correspondent for them. They're a great brand, but there's a huge bounce rate. People come there when they know what they want to watch. They come there when they're getting ready to go see a movie, The Woman King, whatever. People don't stick around and are a part of the community. Pop Viewers is an app. We really are a social community where folks can come, find friends, engage around the content that they're watching. And I think that the social aspect of what we're doing, the video aspect of what we're doing is huge, and also the analytics side. Rotten Tomatoes does not offer up analytics to anyone. We're going to do that.
So I think the analytics have really great potential for businesses that are looking for those insights, but obviously they rely on consumers actually going in and engaging in the platform to give that data. How are you thinking about encouraging consumers to do that, and kind of what's in it for them versus going on their normal social platforms?
Yeah, I mean, who wants to go see free movies in here? Probably show of hands. People want to go see movies. We want to really make our users a part of the content creation process, having them fill out quick surveys. There's a company we're partnering with called Snip Interactive. Our users will get points for leaving reactions, for rating content, so that they're not just doing it passively, but they're a part of the process. And these surveys, all their analytics are going to be able to help improve better content, make better content.
How are you? You stole my question, by the way.
It's a good one.
It's a very good one. How are you monetizing?
Yeah, so we have a growth path to $111 million in revenue over the next 5 years by B2B offering, having the studios, the content creators, brands subscribe for our analytics, and also in-app advertising, which we can do in a very unique way that does not disturb, but actually inform our users.
You know, for brands to pay for the analytics, you're going to, I mean this with tremendous respect,
Yeah,
more than
yeah.
21,000 users. So like, what's the plan to grow the user base?
Yeah, so I mean, this loyalty rewards program that we're going to put in our next version of the app should be really a great way to bolster interaction. We have our big ambassadors like Steve Harvey, Joy Reid. We haven't really released the power of what they can do yet because we're in the midst of a funding round, and our goal is to put out a V2 in the first quarter of next year in our loyalty rewards program and have our users, you know, really take off.
How are you marketing the app other than leveraging the influencers that you're partnering with? In terms of just building it, kind of getting that hockey stick growth in monthly active or daily active users? Like, what's the marketing strategy?
Yeah, so my background has been entertainment journalism. I'm lucky to still get called on by places like the Today Show to go on and talk about what to watch next. So I go on now as founder and CEO of Pop Viewers, and we see a huge spike in user downloads when I'm on these different shows. We also have worked with a company called Aptuitive, where we've been able to get our downloads and our customer acquisition costs really low. Facebook ads is $150, and in-app search ads for Apple are $2.
I got more questions. Talk about margins. What's your gross margins? What are your EBITDA margins? What are your net margins?
You know, I don't have that in front of me at the very moment, but again, our growth path is within the next 5 years, $111 million in revenue.
Got it.
So you mentioned a little bit your influencer partners. Can you talk a little bit more about the team that you're surrounding yourself with and kind of some of their expertise?
Yeah, so my COO, Dan Woolsey, he is the former co-founder of The Griot. The Griot was an African-American, or is an African-American news website that was acquired by NBC News, so I've worked with him for several years. He, I think, is great at being able to identify niche communities and how we can grow them and be able to really make them valuable and impactful to studios and different media platforms. Clyde Lee, who's here, he worked with Vigil. Vigil is a company that was able to also have a loyalty rewards program to incentivize their users as an app to be able to get points as they're watching content, scanning what they're watching, checking in what they're watching, getting points for that, and we're going to do something very similar with Pop Viewers.
Can you talk a little, I'm sorry. So you have some active users already on the platform that you mentioned. Can you talk a little bit about early insights you're seeing from them? How long are they staying on the platform? How are they engaging with it? And kind of what's working and not working so far?
Yeah, so we're seeing an average engagement time of 3 minutes and 28 seconds. And what we're seeing is folks really love the sort of swiping as you swipe on different shows. I'm a big fan of Tinder. That is something that we really see people like to be able to kind of swipe through content. It's very addictive. You heard me mention we have over 300,000 swipes of shows and movies. Also discoverability. People, when they open up Netflix or Hulu, they're just finding what to watch in those platforms. On Pop Viewers, we have everything from everywhere and also what's happening in theaters. People come to figure out what to watch and create a watch list. Yes, thank you guys. My time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is hard.
Yeah? Good. We'll get into that. We'll get into that when we discuss it later. Next up is Plus Media. Plus Media Solutions is the bridge between audience and action. Welcome, Julie Davitt, sorry.
Hey, everybody. Good afternoon. I'm Julie Davids from Plus Media Solutions, and I'm going to ask you to do something a little different. I'm going to ask you to take out your phones and turn them on. Hold on, here we go. If the clicker works.
Our modern quality of life and our whole economy relates
So
to
feel
energy.
free to scan that code.
The time has come where we need bucket of solutions, not one magic bullet.
The amount of sunlight that hits the world in 1 hour is equivalent to the energy that we use in a full year.
I know it's not a magic bullet because there's a lot of work to be done, but that work is.
So you just experienced an enhanced piece of content. We've got a ton of content out there in the world, right? It's so inspiring, so educational, but we're missing opportunities. What do you do after you watch that content? Your experiential problem is missing the engaged viewer and amplifying the message. Your commercial problem is that we know amplifying the message and engaging that viewer means brand loyalty, brand recognition, translates to ROI. Also, engaging that viewer is a big differentiator, and it really changes the whole ad experience. So Plus Media comes in. Plus Media is a public benefit corporation, all female. We catch viewers where they are at the moment of inspiration. You don't have to download an app. You don't have to sign in. It's immediate. We curate and vet all the solutions to match the content and to match the demographic, because in order to get engaged, it has to be appropriate. We measure concrete behavioral analytics far more than clicks, likes, and shares. We're talking real impact. What did people do? Did they volunteer? Did they donate? Did they apply for a job? Did they watch more video? Did they buy a sustainable product? All of our solutions are framed around the UN SDGs as well, because those are a globally approved set of goalposts. So how do we work? We answer the question, what do I do now after I watch that great content? We plug in to content, we also plug into brands, and we plug into events. We offer the viewer, the consumer, an immediate set of curated solutions, and we measure the behavioral analytics, and we track the concrete impact. So what we're doing is we're connecting what the consumer viewer is looking for today, which is engagement, transparency, genuine stories, and we're also helping the company connect, because as we all know, companies are having a heck of a time telling their DE&I and purpose stories. This is just a quick overview of our engineering engagement with our impact application. And we all know that the world is really changing. Sustainability is a big force, and it's being driven by consumers. Purpose is not a marketing campaign or a tagline. It's something embedded in business now, and it's a competitive edge. Our leadership has over 30 years of experience in ESG, sustainability, impact, and finance. Today, we have 32 clients. We're revenue producing. We have 64% on average engagement with our viewers. That's over a baseline of 2%. And I'm going to jump ahead here to 2024. We are already plugged into an AR/VR metaverse company, a gaming for good. So imagine you're in the metaverse and you're working on restoring coral reefs, and you get an opportunity right then and there to do something real around positive social impact. So that's what Plus Media does. Don't just watch, do. That's our motto. Thanks very much.
So a clarifying question. So let's say you were to partner with ESPN. So we would still create the content, you would provide the QR code, and you would provide the metrics and the tracking and the feedback, but you're not creating the underlying content.
We don't create content. Our expertise is in the design, curation, and strategy of engagement.
Got it. So you said 64% of engagement.
Yeah.
Like, can you What does that mean? So
So that
64%
means that
people are scanning it, or?
No, that means that 64% of the people that go to the Impact Hub are doing something. They're learning more or taking action.
And is that a hard consumer behavior to kind of drive to get them to actually take the action of scanning the QR code?
No, it's not at all. It's actually quite natural. The one thing we could thank COVID for is the comfort level now with QR codes, but we have other delivery systems as well. But the point being that we're catching the audience where they are. They're at the moment of inspiration and interest. They don't have to go look for something else. And we're curating the menu of solutions in such a way that's really contextual.
So I know there's a couple companies out there that are providing the QR code boom through the pandemic. So same question as the last one, like what makes you different from the others?
We're really different because we're not asking anyone to go to a different site or download an app or put in any personal information. We don't track any personal information. What we do is capture the viewers at the moment of inspiration with curated and vetted positive social impact. And that is far beyond just a volunteer and donate. So we make it a holistic experience.
So can you walk me through like the business model, right? So if you're to partner with a company, are you paying for the participation? Is it like a consulting fee over trial? Like how does that work?
Right, so we have three main markets, content producers, platforms, events, and brands. So in terms of content, the content platform or producer pays us an implementation fee, which is decided on by the level of complexity and the number of refreshes and how curated their particular data dashboard is. And then we have recurring revenue because of the monthly data reporting, refresh, hosting.
Can you talk more about the team in terms of how you all support the business and your plans for growing that part of your team to develop the business, reach more brands, reach more
You bet.
content companies?
We have a team of 10 women, and our expertise is around DE&I, ESG, sustainability, impact, and finance. Our plan is to build our technology so that we can scale this and offer a retail version and offer a plug-in version for corporations, for brands, et cetera, et cetera.
Can you talk a little bit about your choice to be a PBC and how that impacts your business model?
It was really important to me. I came out of the impact space, I worked in the nonprofit side and the for-profit side. I really believe capitalism is a force for good. And for us to take advantage of that just made really good sense to me, and I wanted us as a company to be held to very high standards. We have every intention of moving to a B Corp status.
And does that have an economic impact on your business model?
I think it's a positive economic impact, yes. No other questions?
No.
Wow, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, last group is Memento NFT. Create valuable NFTs of your best social content. Julian Rodriguez, please come to the stage. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Julian Rodriguez. I'm the founder and CEO of Memento NFT. So at Memento NFT, we help celebrities, influencers, and athletes turn their short-form video content into NFTs. So we cover all the minting costs, and we make it really simple for people to connect with the people who inspire them. So this is me. I've been in crypto for a really long time. I used to work with Vitalik Buterin back in 2013 at the Bitcoin magazine. So I've seen a lot of, busts and bubbles and ups and downs. And I think, the most important part of working at the Bitcoin magazine with Vitalik was the idea that crypto really needs a killer app, right? Adoption is something that's been a little bit of a problem in the space. especially around people consistently worried about speculating and price fluctuations. So social is really that way to onboard the next billion people onto crypto. So starting with our traction, we've had some really strong traction. We've been growing about 279% month over month with so 300K AR. So these numbers are actually last month's numbers. So we've actually increased. We're at 293% month over month growth, and we've hit about a 500K ARR. And our monthly downloads have dropped a little bit at about 11,000 monthly active users. And our ARPU comes in at about $5. So we've hit about 70,000 plus users so far. So to put a little context around sort of what we do, right? We're sort of moving out of Web 2 into what is really sort of known as Web 3, right? And I'd like to really focus around what we call Web 2.5, right? So Web 2.5 are these platforms that allow creators and people in the creator economy to sort of monetize their content in the middle ground, right? So things like OnlyFans, Patreon, Cameo. TikTok itself is experimenting with tipping and gifting. And in Web 3, what we're really going for is complete and total ownership around the content. And so what we like to say is buying is the new like. So a little bit more about Memento, right? So Memento is a mobile app where we're trying to establish the concept of content as an asset class, right? Where digital assets can be bought, sold, and staked directly from your mobile device. Right, so the utility question, right? I think someone mentioned that, right? So essentially what we do is with the ownership of the NFTs, you're able to unlock members-only live streams, VIP passes, tickets, and signed merchandise, right? So this is actually a screen of Billie Eilish, not on Memento, but on Instagram. She jumps on there once in a while to engage with her fans directly, and it's like probably one of the most memorable moments of most of those fans' lives. So currently,